Let's see. We're going to quit there. Nope. Why is part 2 not showing up? Part 2. Part 2 should show up. Top chat. I might need to continue recording. Okay, I'm going to start recording with nobody here. I guess I'm still okay. Okay, my screen froze. So the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you may not see the charts. This is why you need to tune into the Daily Stock Pick newsletter. I will have everything that you need there. I think you could still hear me. You just couldn't see me. I've quit everything. Shouldn't freeze again. It's a part 2. Nobody seems to be joining, so it's probably just going to be me. So I went over pot stocks. One thing that I want to show you here is on Twitter. Let's see. Where is my Twitter? There it is. This is a video representation of Warren Buffett's stocks, the top 25 holdings in Berkshire Hathaway over the last 20 years. I will include a link to this in the newsletter so you can watch it yourself. There's some nice music behind it. But what I want to point out to you is we're in January 2004 right now. And you're seeing this pop up. Right now you're seeing American Express, Coca-Cola. You'll see Wells Fargo come up here. Procter & Gamble all of a sudden shoots up. We get into the housing crisis of 2007, 2008, and you start to see Johnson & Johnson moving up, Buford Capital. He's constantly getting in and out of these names, but this is the market cap and the share of these names. So it's not necessarily, it's the amount of his holdings. And you can see transportation, all of this stuff. He's in industrial goods, financials hold a huge portion. We're in 2011 now. I think Apple starts to make an appearance here in 2016. My point of this is Apple, you'll see, gets a huge jump in his portfolio in 2016. He missed the ride on Apple. But he knows it's not too late. So he constantly is adding to these positions over the years. Even as they go up, they may go down while he's there, but constantly they're going up. Watch Apple shoot up. Apple's here. There it is in number 3, 2017. It quickly takes over number 1. And then it just greatly outweighs everything. You could buy basically Berkshire and get access to Apple at a lower price than what you could just buying Apple, the stock. So it's interesting to watch this. I think it's really good, interesting, kind of to see the best investor of our lifetime and how his the market cap of his stuff has changed. I think it's a great one. I'll include that in the newsletter. I like it. I like it a lot. Social requests. Trenton, thank you for buying me a cup of coffee via Venmo. Trenton asked me about, what did you ask me about yesterday? But I think he's in Shopify, and I think that's why he tipped me. If you guys want to tip me, if you're in Shopify and want to tip me, I've got links on the link tree, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Trenton just by the chance decided for Venmo. My preferred is Venmo. They don't charge me any fees. Like PayPal actually charges me a fee, so any portion that you give me, I'm paying over to PayPal. I do invest in PayPal. D-Man, Adam. First one is Adam from Facebook. Is GNS. GNS is GNU's Genius Group. I think it's, people call it GNU's. But GNS, is GNS a buy with the 2-day pullback? I don't think so. I honestly, I just don't think so. GNS is one of these hyped. I've traded it over the years, and I think you can trade it. But you can see with the algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm, 66 cents is where you're in. So Adam, I'd stay away from this one. It's over its 200-day. It has not done well when you've seen it over the 200-day in the past. This was about when I was trading it, January 2020. No, I wasn't doing it back then. It was way back when, let's see. Because this was rumored to be some new up and coming thing, and you could trade it and you could make a ton of money on this one. The volatility on this one was huge. I mean, this is a weekly. Look at that, 33% in a week. Look at this one. You've got 64% in a week. It's on the downside, but imagine if you traded this on the upside. Now, this particular candle, 440% in a week, January 16th, 2023. You're just pulling back from there, and then you're going for another run. But I don't think that you hold this one. There's a lot that you just want to get out of, and this would be one that I would get out of. D-Man says, hey, SMG is looking good. Well, yeah, it's looking good. It's because pot stock. Scott's Miracle-Gro, not only do you put it on your lawn, but growers need to buy Scott's Miracle-Gro because they're growing cannabis. So they buy this stock, and it's a ton. 57, you're going to fill this gap. I mean, honestly, you're just going to fill that gap. It will. You'll see. I mean, it's just too stretched on the downside. They will use fertilizer. They're doing their fertilizer buys for next year right now. So you're going to see Scott's Miracle-Gro go up. I do think that they have some cash flow problems. Just understand. Look at the cash flow problems that they have on FinViz. They're losing $131 million. Year to date, it's up 18%. You're 34% below your 52-week high of 88. You're 47% above your 52-week low of 39. If you got it at 39, kudos. But understand the average price target is 67. But only, it looks like most people have covered this. They're moving between 70 and 80. So you can, Morningstar Research usually has pretty good research. Analyst report. They're going to tell you the truth about this one. It's going up because of pot stocks. I do think that you cover this gap. I don't think that you get up to this $85 mark, but I do think you get to the 70s in here. So I like that one. Gabriel says, hey, Gary, I bought Roblox yesterday for a short-term swing trade. To me, the MACD seemed ready to cross and maybe to fill that gap up to 36. What's your opinion? I like Roblox. Here's the problem with Roblox is that you're as you stay higher for longer, any kind of dip in users, any kind of dip in earnings is going to get killed on this. And you're going back to school. I think you're right. The MACD is crossed up here. $27 was the buy. You're at $28.53. I would look for this to get above 30. And if you're in at 28, Gabriel, I think I would get out at 30, take your 10%. I don't think that the downside is significant. I think the lower 20s, I mean, you're seeing right here a double bottom. I mean, let's see chart patterns. Let's see if I can do a double bottom. Yeah, let's see. That doesn't find a double bottom. But, let me see. I have to apply it. Apply. Yeah, I don't see a double bottom, but it doesn't mean it's not there. Chart patterns. Let's see. Let's take out the double bottom, but I do see. This is the $40 range that I thought it was, but it just slipped so far. And then with their earnings, they gapped down. I think that gap up to 36, 37 gets filled, but you've got a lot of resistance to pass through there. You've got volume gaps right here between 29 and 30. You've got the 50-day to cross through, which is still pointing downwards. You got the 200-day pointing downwards. It's cost problem, and I think it's user problems. I think Roblox is the best bet for the metaverse. I don't think that buying it at 28 is a horrible thing, but I think once you get to 30, I think you start to trim. If you start to gain some additional confirmation, like you start stretching above that 9-day even more, and the 21-day is turning positive. I mean, it's all positive right here, but this one could turn negative on a dime. I like this going into September. If you're a bull in September, I think Roblox might be a good one to buy on the rebound. I still like Shopify better, though. Okay, let's talk about some scans. Oxy. Oxy is kind of just floundering around here. It's getting in, getting out. You got out with a 10% gain up here. You're back in at 62. It is down 0.02. It's kind of flat today. So Oxy, PXD, we had a cross up. We talked about PXD earlier. You had a cross up here at 237.91. You're at 237.32. So PXD. CrowdStrike, we have a cross up. CrowdStrike is popping today. The cross up is at 149.25. You're at 162. I don't think you're bad buying at 162. I think long term you're fine. CrowdStrike is just one of those stocks that you have to add during the dips. And I think, it was clear that before the earnings, I think with Palo Alto, their earnings, I think CrowdStrike said it. Like I said, I wasn't adding to mine, but I already had a position, so I'm benefiting from it. Amazon, with their partnership with Shopify, I think it benefits Shopify stock much more than Amazon's, but I don't think that you should sleep on Amazon. Under 140, I think Amazon's a play. I think Amazon is going to come out with AWS stuff, and they're going to announce some type of AI partnership or something. It's going to continue to pop. Don't fall asleep on this one. We finally have a cross up on Disney. I still wouldn't touch it. 84.30. I think there's better names out there. I think they will sell their stuff to Apple or somebody with cash, their ESPN stuff. They need cash. LNG, we talked about Boyle. LNG has a cross up here at 164. I think you buy under 150. I don't think there's any huge catalyst. But if you don't want to buy a triple levered ETF that doesn't actually own anything and is a decaying asset, and you want to buy a company that actually does something and makes money with natural gas, LNG. They're going to take cheap natural gas here in the U.S. and they're going to sell it to China. They're going to sell it to Europe, and they're going to make a fortune doing it. Peabody, BTU. It's a coal company. I'm not a huge fan of coal, but they're shipping cheap coal from here over to China. They've got the contracts. I think they'll do fine. We talked about Boyle having a cross up. Boyle has a cross up 64.46. Yesterday, Schlumberger had a cross up. Today, it's Halliburton. They both do the same thing. They provide services to the oil and gas industry. 38.98 is the cross up. I think it's a little bit extended, like I thought Schlumberger was extended. Tilray, we talked about that one. This one has a cross up type. $2.63. You have too many gaps on the downside. If you want to invest in pot, go ahead. I would just trade it. AbbVie, this was a loved stock during the the pandemic, because it paid a huge dividend and it ran up. It's running back down now. I would have gotten it below the 200-day. It's got a decent dividend. You can play healthcare if you want with that one. Booking Holdings, BKNG. This one, 3,123. It was stuck in the other one. This one, it's travel. People are just spending on travel. Look at the MACD. It just kind of came down. It's getting its next leg up. If you want to buy this one, go have at it. And finally, Marvel. We talked about Marvel hitting the gap on the downside. It filled the gap on the upside already. 57.48. You're up 1.73 today. I think you get back to that 200-day, which is about 60. I think you could play that one. If we get past that 50-day, you're taking the next leg up. The 200-day is still positive. You're using that 200-day as resistance. I thought it was going to cover this gap down to 50. It didn't. It got down to about 54, I think, at its low. 52.25. It got down to the low. So it's got its confirmation. It's back. I mean, they brought up AI. They overhyped it here. They pulled back on their AI stuff here, but they didn't pull back greatly. So I think it's just a rebound. Remember, if you're going to get TrendSpider, today it's 64% off, $358 for the year, and you need the middle. Remember the process. Sign up, email me. And how do you find my email address? Just go to Linktree, and it's right here. It's dailystockpick3@gmail.com. You can email me once you sign up. Once I confirm that you're on my program, I'll email you the welcome letter. So that's the process. If you don't want to buy TrendSpider and you just want some charting software, throw some money into Webull. This third link, you get free stocks, anything from $3 to $3,000. Put a couple $100 in there. I put $1,000 in there at the beginning of the year. Right now, I am at $23.78. So I am up a lot. So, but if you want $20 off your phone bill right there, if you're in Shopify and you want to gift me, if you wind up selling your Shopify and you make some money, gift me with Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. They're all down here. Sign up for the newsletter. Right here's the newsletter. You can sign up. It's free. You don't have to pay. If you want the educational stuff, it's on the weekend. So if you have any questions, hit me up. My apologies for the freezing. If you're watching on video, it did freeze. I'll put everything in the email, in the newsletter, so you have it. But my apologies about that. Thanks, you guys, for being there and for your patience. Appreciate it. Take care. Okay, now I've got 2 freaking files to fill. Oh, I don't know how long it froze, but it froze for a while, I think. And Christian, thanks for rejoining. Yeah, I think he did pardon all those people with marijuana convictions. So it's not like he hasn't done anything. But I agree with you. A lot that he ran on, he hasn't exactly kept up his promises. But that's like any freaking politician. I mean, remember Trump saying he would balance the budget within 4 years? And then both of his chiefs of staff said there's just no appetite in Washington to cut spending. So he blamed it on Washington. We're going to move that over to MacBook. So it's just politicians being politicians. I hate them all. I had a discussion with a friend last night about who I would vote for. Honestly, right now, the only person I think I could vote for that's running is Chris Christie, and that's reluctantly because the guy's just a criminal in my mind. I mean, shutting down the beaches in New Jersey and then taking his family to the beach, Bridgegate. I mean, we can go over a bunch of stuff, but what I like about Christie is he pretty much puts it out there what he's for and against, and I like that stance. He's willing to defend it. I also think he's a red governor in a blue state that had some success, and that says a lot. I mean, listen, New Jersey is overwhelmingly Democrat. So he's the only one that I actually think I could vote for. Vivek, I like his energy. I think he's probably one of the most well-spoken. But if you go back and look, when he was CEO of an Alzheimer's company, he went on Jim Cramer's show and promised the end of Alzheimer's. I mean, the guy's full of promises, and he's full of rhetoric. But when you go and look at the actions that he's done, he basically pumped the stock up and then sold it for $2 billion. And it's not like he cured Alzheimer's. It's not like the company did anything. He pumped it up saying that they were going to stage 2 trials, and the stock ran up thinking that. They never got to stage 2. And he sold out at $2 billion and left a billionaire. So, but I do think he's got some promise if he talks about stuff. But okay, I am out of here. It's 10:30. I got to go put this together. Thanks you guys for joining.